stage. Everyone else come on around.
Of course, you got to get that photo op. Another day, another moment where Justin Trudeau gets heckled, humiliated, or publicly embarrassed. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. Today, Justin Trudeau and the Liberals during a press conference get heckled by a guy with an F-Trudeau flag. We've also got Trudeau himself showing up at the Toronto Film Festival, mansplaining, putting on his full actor act, among some other stuff. So let's jump into this. We got this post here from Economic Woes, says Toronto has fallen. This was $1.8 million during the peak of 2022, now selling close to the 2015-2016 prices. You can see here listed for $930,000, was listed at $975.99. They've dropped the price just a measly $40,000, $45,000. So it says silent depression. So now if we go back a year ago, we got this. This is just after Trudeau said that the government has nothing to do with housing. And so he started to get into housing. How have things really changed in Canada?
My son, 25 years old, still lives at home with us. College grad, good paying job. He laughs off the idea that he'll ever own a house, a detached house like the one he lives in now, that we were able to afford 25 years ago. What do you say to them? Do you say give up on detached ownership and go for something smaller and it's a dream that's dead? You're never going to get there? Let me ask how you feel about it.
Obviously, I've heard from Canadians like your son across the country who are really worried about the housing market, who wonder whether or not they'll ever be able to afford a home. One of the challenges we're facing in Canada is our population with immigration and other things has...
Oh, really? And who did that, Justin? Who's in charge of that?
Been growing over the past years, and housing construction hasn't kept up, which is a real problem. And that's why one of the initiatives we're working on, $4 billion towards municipalities in order to double the construction of new housing over the coming years.
Newsflash, it has not doubled. It's actually less. There's less housing starts now. That's what's going on. It's just risky business for these builders. All the red tape and all the bureaucracy is what's bogging this down. House building is a profitable business, very profitable business. The problem is government.
This is something that is going to help. Whether it's enough or directly going to be helping your son, we'll have to see, because there's not just one program that's going to help anyone. There's going to be a range of programs.
We got this posted by Stacy. It says, New Brunswick reception for Dominic LeBlanc. This is a Liberal press conference out on the water here. Dominic later went on to brag about being an active participant in illegally invoking the Emergencies Act. So first, let's show you that clip, which it's right here.
I was an active participant in those conversations around invoking the Emergencies Act. I was...
Yeah, he seems to be proud of that too. Now, if we take a look at the actual press event here, all you have to do is look in the back here. It's not hard to see.
I recognize the presence of the following people, and I know I'm going to miss some people, and I apologize in advance. Tout d'abord, l'honorable Dominique Leblanc, député fédéral de Beauséjour et ministre de la Sécurité publique, des institutions démocratiques et des affaires internes.
Let's just take a look at this Canadian hero here. You briefly see him down here, right at the end. He walks across. This guy here, we got a Canadian hero. Mr. Sunglasses is what we're going to call him. This is embarrassing. Like... That's amazing. Took a second there and then I saw it. Hilarious. Treason. It's literally dying through the whole thing. How obvious. Yeah. Next up, Captain Schmuck shows up at the Toronto Film Festival. These are like the volunteers and organizers here, and he just surprises them. Right away, he's like, his head's all bobbing like he's like some Rico Suave. He's like, "Ah-ooh, ladies, ah-ooh." He opens it up with a little bit of that Grey Poupon just to grease things up.
To stop by to say thank you for all the you guys have been doing. But it's about Canada welcoming the world here and talking about the stories that we have to share and that the world wants to share with each other.
We have so many stories of Canadians living in tents.
Better place to do it in this extraordinary city that is the most multicultural city in the world, with particular approaches to it.
He feels really comfortable here. It's just all the actors. This guy's a career actor. He's a loser playing the role of a prime minister.
What's your favorite part about being a volunteer captain? Gold shirts.
He said, what's your favorite part about being a volunteer? They said the gold shirts.
Surprises.
Surprises.
I was gonna say, whoa. I'm like, wait.
Look at this guy. He's like, I'm the surprise ladies. Come on, golden girls. Want to go on a date? I'm single and ready to mingle.
I see what you did there. Who's the most surprising visitor? Not talking about celebrities, but I mean, did you meet someone from a far off country here for because they're part of a movie, or like, I mean, what kinds of people are most interested?
Is this guy fishing to say him? This narcissist, like, that's what he's fishing. That's what this seems like to me. He's like, come on, ladies, say me. I'm Mr. Trudeau.
Together like that, that's really special because we don't always get to do that every day in our everyday life and in person, not online, not through cyber things, but actually in person and having the conversations, and that creates a deeper.
What kind of person does this when you're talking in front of like 30 people? You just put your leg up and it's like, this is weird posture, man.
Experience, right?
So much of what we're watching is.
Look at him. He has to interrupt. Like, he's just got to get the mansplaining going on here. This guy is just weird.
Is streaming at home on tablets is an individual experience, and yes, you can share and talk with your friends about what you like and everything like that online. But there's something about sitting in it.
I don't know. I think people who do this, they like to feel commanding. They want to step on things and show like, I'm in control. This is I own this place. Captain Weirdo every single place he goes.
Just go up on stage, everyone else come on around.
Of course, you got to get that photo op.
Yay. Lucky me.
Gather into the center of the more we're sort of concentrated. Make sure you can clearly see Lars's camera, the big Swede in the center there.
Look at this guy. Like, this is cheesy, greasy Luigi here. Oh, ladies, let's go, golden girls, line up. Like, come on.
Okay, everybody look this way, please.
All right, on the count of three, we all say TIFF. 1, 2, 3. TIFF!
This is where our tax dollars are going. This buffoon is running our country. See you later, ladies. I'm a big deal.
That is you just put in $23 million.
What did she say? She said more money for the arts, and he comes back and said you just put in $23 million.
You just put in $23 million.
Look at this, the shaking hand. You're wrong. You be little and small. I'm going to keep pointing at you. Even in a joke, this guy's like Captain Commanding Narcissist. I get it, it's supposed to be playful, fun humor, but it's like he can't not be that commanding narcissist. He just can't. We got this clip here from Wiretap Media. It says CEO of Loans Canada claims there are over $1 billion worth of mortgage defaults in Canada in the second quarter of 2024. Canadians are struggling to survive, and the government is bragging about a not-so-free dental plan.
Well, according to a new report from Equifax Canada, credit delinquencies increased in the second quarter as Canadian households continue to navigate pressure from high living costs and rising unemployment. Credit card balances averaged $4,300 per credit card user. That's the highest level since 2007, with total outstanding balances rising 14% from last year. For some tips on how you can deal with your debt, we're joined by Scott Satov. He's Chief Executive Officer of Loans Canada. Scott, let's begin with the numbers from Equifax. Credit card balances rising, I'm seeing to the highest level on record at $4,300 Canadian dollars per card in the second quarter. How concerning is that?
No doubt it's very concerning, Paul. It's the highest level since 2007, and it's representing $2.5 trillion of credit card debt, $4,300 per person in Canada, certainly a huge amount of debt carried by Canadian consumers. And individuals and Canadians are looking for ways to reduce this debt and make their living more affordable.
What are we seeing in delinquencies? People simply not being able to pay what they owe?
Sure. I mean, there's over $1 billion of delinquencies for the first time in mortgages in Canada. That's created by a multiple of different effects. But I mean, the main issue is inflation, consumer spending. which is causing a havoc in Canadian households.
Yeah, we're talking about carbon tax, inflation, carbon tax, Justin Trudeau's spending. It's all problems created by the Trudeau Liberals.
That bundled with the housing affordability crisis certainly doesn't help. And now there's higher employment than there has been in previous years, which is adding debt to Canadians' credit card balances as they look for ways to pay off their expenses on a monthly basis.
Yeah, so two more problems created by the Trudeau Liberals. The housing being the biggest one. As this guy says here, billions dollars worth of mortgage defaults in Canada. Is this even getting attention of legacy media in Canada? No kidding. Where are they on this? They're mandated probably not to talk about it. That's why X is the true source of information. But Freeland keeps telling us things are improving for Canadians. Maybe she meant the chains are tightening the stranglehold. Next up, we got a clip here posted by Nixon BC Mortgage. This guy's got some good stuff. He's a mortgage broker for commercial real estate in Vancouver. And he's talking here about the free school food lunch program.
Canada's free lunch program is already a failed promise. The program's rolled out in several provinces, and Nova Scotia has just recently made an announcement. I'm a numbers guy. Let's take a look. Nova Scotia's food lunch program, here are the numbers. They're funding $18.8 million this year for grade 5 and under, 195 school days per year, 75,000 students. Then we do the math. That is $1.28 per meal. The only thing I can think of that's that price is the $1 small cup of coffee at McDonald's. Obviously, the numbers don't work. So This is how they're going to make it work. Families will choose from one of three options. The first option is free. The second option is pay half price. And the third option is pay full price. And I already see it. They're going to guilt trip you to the very end because they're going to say, if you don't pay full price, you're taken away from another family that really can't afford this food lunch program. Isn't it funny that they promised Canadians this free lunch program and lo and behold, it's far from free?
Yeah, exactly. Just like the dental program, it wasn't free. People thought it was free, and then they get these huge bills. And they're like, oh, it's covered. Like I saw one, they covered like $15 and someone had to pay like $850 out of pocket for the dental program. I'm sure some of them end up being free based on qualifications, age, all that kind of thing. But their programs are not free. And regardless of free or not, we're paying for them. The simple fact that me being a taxpayer, I can't go use a dental program. I haven't been to a dentist in like 9 years, but I'm paying for it. Now other people get to go do it. Only people who don't have teeth or people who have perfect teeth, like young kids. Sure, the dental program's helping people, but it would just be better if we all took care of our own dental needs. We just pay for it ourselves. We all keep more money and then we just pay for things. We can prioritize things. Done. That's how this should be. So we got an interesting clip here at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. This is a job fair. You know where this is going. This lineup is ridiculous. Posted by Economic Woes, it says, I still believe the 6.6 unemployment rate is BS. It's much higher, but let's cook the books. Do you know how many people have had their hours cut from 40 to 30 hours down to 15 to 20 a week? Yeah, silent depression.
Job fair today at Metro Toronto Convention Center.
This is insane. This is what happens when Justin Trudeau brings in way too many people and takes up all the jobs. You know, people who need jobs in this country, who've been here for a while, who've been going to school or paying taxes, doing other things, need a job, can't get a job. You end up with this, like 300 people in line. Port the third world horde of invaders. That might be one way of saying it. 100%, I've always tested the waters in the job market, even if I'm happy in my role, just to see callbacks and salaries for similar roles. I've had 0 callbacks in the past few months, whereas I would usually get at least 1 or 2. Honestly, this is why I think my 2 younger ones who are in university will leave the country for work. They've already suggested it themselves without prompting. We got this one posted by Shazzy Goli. Universities brace for financial collapse as university student numbers nosedive by 45%, threatening the future of higher education. So enrollment down 45% after rule change. The system is just hanging on. Here we've got the Trudeau Liberals. They've gone way too far extreme in one end, and then now they've just completely flipped it over back the other end. Am I saying they should have dialed this down more slowly? No, I think we need to limit the amount of people coming into our country. We need to slow things down. The universities have been gouging people for years with these high fees. Universities are just big businesses. This will likely have a bunch of those phony diploma colleges all go out of business, which is good. The universities will probably be fine. International students make up 1/4 of the study holder permits in Canada. Their tuition fees are often, 3 to 4 times higher than domestic students. Yeah, that's why the universities like that. I'm sure they're in there right with Justin Trudeau and say, hey, bring in the foreign, students. We want to take their money because they make us a lot more money, right? And they say housing immigration, growing public pressure to tie immigration levels to the housing starts. I mean, it's probably more Justin Trudeau's friends there or Trudeau himself. They like all these people coming in. They got 20 people to a house. They can rent out a bed for $300 or $400 or $500 a person a month. You pack in 20 people into some basement and you're making a ton of money. There you have it. We got Mansplaining Trudeau with the Golden Girls. He seemed really comfortable with those people. I think he really likes his actor people, all the actors, all the film people, brings him back to his days when he was learning how to be a liar. It is troubling though that how many times this guy gets humiliated with the flag in the background there. He obviously is bothered by it, but he just keeps pushing forward. The man will not step down. What does he have up his sleeve? What does he have in store for us next?